watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
This morning, it is cleanup time now. Cleanup underway after Hillary. It was the first tropical storm to hit Southern California in 84 years, and it brought rain, flooding, high winds.
Over a dozen people were rescued from the San Diego River last night, and several trees fell across the county. In University City, a eucalyptus tree fell on 2 apartments, and in Lemon Grove, a large tree fell onto a white Hummer. Glad you're with us here, 6 a.m. on this Monday. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Neda Iranpour. Thank you so much for joining us. We do have team coverage for you. CBS 8's Chris Groh and Dana Marie McNichol showing us Hillary's aftermath.
We want to begin with meteorologist Evan Rani, though, to get a look at where Hillary is now and then some of the rain totals that we got here in the county.
Yeah, it came in with pretty decent strength across San Diego County. Forecast totals were exactly in line with what we saw. So take a look, 2 to 3 inches along the coastline, as we were saying for the last 4 or 5 days or so. Across our mountaintops, 6 to 7 inches, which is higher than the 5 to 7 originally estimated. Palomar Mountain and Mount Laguna were the 2 spots we were expecting upwards of 5 inches. And boy, we got over 7 for Mount Laguna, 6.7 for Palomar Mountain. Julian stayed a little bit lighter, 3.4 inches in total, but even close to the coastline. Carlsbad, 2.5 inches. National City, 2.25. Decent totals that we ran into here. Tracking Hillary, she is post-tropical, 35-mile-per-hour winds across the now decayed eye wall. But we are seeing the storm slowly continue to break apart. She will move farther north into a portion of Oregon, but with much weaker wind and rain. We have pretty much seen all of our wet weather subside. Just a couple clouds that we are left with now as we head through the morning hours. 6:02 we're just about to hit. Neda, Eric, back to you.
Evan, thank you so much for the latest there. And now today, thousands of San Diego Unified students are staying home. This is a district of about 100,000 students, and the district is postponing the first day of its school year.
The district will use today to check any impact or damage the storms may have had on the buildings. As of right now, classes will start tomorrow for San Diego Unified. We are also learning that schools in the Borrego Springs Unified School District are also closed. Meantime, Poway Unified Schools will be open today as scheduled. The Sweetwater Union High School District will also remain open today.
Teachers and staff will be going to San Diego Unified Schools to assess some of the damage possibly to their facilities. Meantime, San Diego State University is going virtual. SDSU moved their classes to remote work today. Students have to log in today. This is for both San Diego and Imperial Valley campuses. Libraries at both campuses will change hours. Food service still available. You can still go there for food. Faculty has been asked to extend consideration to students who may not be able to attend class because of weather-related reasons. The university plans to return to normal on-campus classes for tomorrow.
As far as community colleges go, the San Diego Community College District is postponing the first day of its classes at the campuses there. That includes City College, Mesa, Miramar, and continuing education colleges. In the North County, all Palomar College locations will be closed today. And in the South Bay, Southwestern College is still scheduled to kick off its fall semester here this morning. Well, Hillary has certainly left a big mess across the county. An area of concern this weekend has been the San Diego River. Yeah,
you see the rushing waters right there. Crews had to rescue at least 13 people trapped in those high waters. Quite a massive rescue effort. CBS 8's Chris Groh live in Mission Valley now. You're right near the river. Chris, what does it look like this morning?
Yeah, and look, this gives us a really good opportunity to kind of show you guys again what's happening behind the tree line right now, right? Because this is a break in that tree line. We see the San Diego River overflowing on top of this road, which is a main thoroughfare here into Fashion Valley, but also one of our flooding roads. It's almost like clockwork. When we get rain like this is what we see happen. Now, the bad part about this, though, is that throughout the San Diego River, we have, unfortunately, a number of encampments. And the fear was, with Hillary, was would the word get out quickly enough and would people take warnings early enough to get and clear out those encampments so they would not need to be rescued? Well, unfortunately, just yesterday, we did see a situation, a pretty scary situation, in which 13 people had to be rescued. They were staying in an encampment there inside of the San Diego River. This actually taking place near Morena and Friars Road, just west of where we are right now. Now, the initial call was sometime around 8, 9 o'clock at night. San Diego Fire Rescue, their lifeguards, Swift Water Rescue team showed up. They were able to rescue 13 people. Now, the initial call was for 15 to 20, but they did call off the search after they got those 13 people to safety. About 2 of them did say that they felt like they had symptoms of hypothermia, though it's not clear if anyone suffered any serious injuries or, again, something like hypothermia. But we know that, of course, it can be dangerous. It can put a lot of people at risk. Take a listen to what lifeguards had to say about yesterday's rescue.
We had an initial call from them coming in stating that they could not make it out of the river due to the swift water. As you can see behind us, it's risen exponentially in the last couple hours here, as we'd expected to, coming down from the mountains and filling up as it goes down here through the San Diego River. And so they called us stating that they couldn't get out. We've got 13 out so far. We're searching the rest of the river from here all the way to the other side of the 5.
And again, we can't stress this enough. Look, one of the main reasons why standing water is so dangerous is because if you look at this right now, you probably think it's about to your foot or so forth. But the real issue is that it could be as deep as it goes to your knees, just above your thighs. You don't really know how deep it is unless you're in that water. That can catch you off guard. You can fall. And because that river is moving, you could get swept, a couple feet or so before you're able to get your balance back, unless something even more dangerous happens. So again, avoid any rushing or standing water. You don't need to see how deep it is. You don't need to take that picture. You can do all of that from the safety of high and dry ground. Now, of course, we know that wind, a factor yesterday, combined with that rain, we saw a lot of debris as well as trees that had gone down. We are going to turn things now to Dana Marie McNichol, who's live in University City with more on what you're seeing there, Dana Marie.
That's right. Good morning, Chris. Thank you so much for those reminders and tips. As we move here to UTC, we see a massive eucalyptus tree, 40 to 50 feet. It fell around 5:30 yesterday. That's when we really felt those significant winds kick up. Now let's take a look at some of the video, give you a better perspective and look at what is dealing with right now. Again, we are off La Jolla Colony Drive, an apartment complex where that eucalyptus tree fell on 2 homes. Thankfully, we know no one was hurt, but 3 adults are now displaced and unable to stay in their home after that tree fell on it yesterday evening. Now, we're learning that a structural engineer is planning on being here later this morning to determine if the home is safe for those people to return home. But again, so much rain, saturation, especially this storm, but all throughout the past winter in February, March, and April. And now with this winds, it could have been the last thing to just topple this tree over onto those 2 apartments yesterday. Now, we did speak to the fire department. They say they were fully prepared for something like this, but of course, responding to a lot yesterday.
It's been a busy day. We've had a lot of incidents that have been related to this weather event. But we had fair warning it was coming and we were prepared for it.
And I do want to give you an idea of what we're feeling right now. Wind is not really strong at all. I don't even think there is much even to report on. Just a light mist here in the UTC area. So just the small remnants of Tropical Storm Hilary affecting us here. Again, just the cleanup process starting within the next couple of hours as that structural engineer makes his way down here. Hopefully those people, those 3 adults that were displaced, can make their way back into their homes and start that process of cleanup. I'm Dana Marie McNichol. I'll send it back to you, Eric Anetta.
That's a giant trunk right there behind her head.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, Hilary causing flooding in the Tijuana River Valley. This is video from our photographer taken around 4 a.m. here this morning. This is near Hollister and Monument Road. A little dark out there, but you can see that the ponding, the pooling, and quite a bit of water there.
Yeah, in the past, that's where some vehicles, unfortunately, have been stuck before. So obviously, if you see that sign that says flooded, don't pass the sign. There will be a lot of that throughout the day today. But thankfully now, hopefully it'll all start to subside with the rain that's now moved along. Let's check in with Evan. Evan, impressive amount of rain, though, that came.
Very much so, especially if we look off toward our mountains and deserts. Mountains in particular, 7 inches is what we saw at Mount Laguna, 6 and about 3/4 in Palomar Mountain. So let's take a look at satellite radar as it stands right now. Most of our wet weather has cleared out. There's still some sprinkles that we'll contend with and cloud cover. But for us in San Diego, our wet weather is to the north of us now. LA has been working through some remaining showers. They, of course, are essentially 3-4 hours behind on the timing of this storm, and now the remnants of Hilary making its way into the Vegas area, continuing north from there. Remember, Vegas has already seen plenty of rain over the last 48 hours, so this is just more on hand for them. For us in San Diego, we still have a beach hazard statement close to the coastline, and then across our mountains and deserts, we do still have a flood watch. The emphasis on this flood watch is that we do need to wait a little while to make sure that everything is dropping to its normal level. Our rivers, our streams, our lakes. We also need to make sure that anywhere that did see, say, 7 inches of rain is able to deal with it accordingly, is able to see that drainage occur. Now, north of us and to the east of us, we've got a flood warning just one step above the flood watch. Flash flood warning remains for the area in red, and that's just north of Palm Springs. Palm Springs picked up in 24 hours on nearly the amount they would have seen in a full year. They saw over 3 inches, nearly 4 inches, and just over 4.6 inches is what they would normally expect in an entire year, their annual rainfall in about 24 hours. So when we talk about the damage related to this storm or how destructive it was, how much we saw quite a bit. Just because maybe one town in particular didn't see a ton doesn't mean that the county or Southern California didn't, because this was a pretty decent storm for us. Today's forecast shows we've got sunshine on the way. We've got a little bit of cloud cover that we'll be working through. Temperatures are in the low 70s for the coastline, much cooler compared to average for our inland valleys and mountains and deserts, really. And then we'll start to get back to normal, see those temperatures warm up once again pretty soon. 60s as you walk out the door right now, very, very mild. And compared to 24 hours ago, Hilary has cooled us down tremendously. So let's take a look at the 5-day forecast. We'll get some rebounding temperatures back to the 80s as we head toward Tuesday and beyond. So it'll start to get much warmer from here. Let's take a look at traffic. It is 6:11 on the clock right now. And so far, the main issue that we are running into on our roads is flooding conditions. So take a look. When we zoom into each of these hazards that are popping up, roadblock due to flooding, roadblock due to flooding, roadblock due to flooding. That is all we're seeing here. If we move over to East County, same situation. Roadblock with flooding. So this is the emphasis this morning. Drive safe this morning, slow your speeds down. Remember, turn around, don't drown. If you do see pooling or ponding on the roads, as Chris mentioned, you don't know how deep that water is. So be safe out there. Practice cautious and defensive driving while you get out on the roads. We also want to check in on border wait times because we could see some impact related to those border wait times. Right now, not much. San Ysidro Port of Entry, 65 minutes. Otay Mesa Port of Entry, 60 minutes. There are probably fewer people trying to cross that border this morning than normal, but we could see some extended wait times there along the border itself. It is 6:12 now. Now to Eric, back to you.
Evan, thank you very much for all of that. Still ahead here, some people are still without power.
Yeah, hundreds across San Diego. Plus, Hilary also caused flooding south of the border. We're going to show that to you. And what's open, what's closed today in San Diego after the storm.